What up, people? It's your boy, Master Chudy, once again out with another comic review. Couldn't resist. Gotta get this out now. So, that's also my first review of Shazam. I've been reading the series. I've actually really liked it. I thought I wouldn't, but Jeff Johns does a great job on this book. I think it's fantastic. The cover speaks for itself. In the last issue, Billy found out that his dad, well, he hasn't found out yet, but Billy's dad just pops into his foster family's home and says, "I'm looking for my son." And we kind of get the whole issue. By the way, I really liked her in the movie. I felt she was very underrated. The girl and her alter ego, she was just full of energy. Very good, very good. But let's get on to the review and the comic. Jesse, his father's return may destroy the Shazam family, of course, because he loves his new family, and who wouldn't want to basically go? So we get this guy, this king, who's basically a boy who's lived in in the floodlands, ruling as a quote unquote benevolent king, only to imprison kids when they finally stop being kids. Um, into his minds. Kind of like Kids Next Door, where you reach 13 and they decommission you, but instead of wiping your memory, you're enslaved. So King Kid, that's his name. And so Mary and Billy are trying to fight this guy and try to free all these kids because they realize he's crazy. It's like when you reach the age of 18, you have under unconditional servitude. So instead of 13, 18. So they try to free the kids and everything like that. So, this is like, a pretty good comic ruled over, trying to get you up to date, ruled by him. The horror that's happening and the situation. Having discovered a dark secret in the Funlands, Billy and Mary are under attack while the rest of the Shazam family is scattered across the seven magic lands. So um, everybody is scattered. Some are in the gaming land, some are in the animal land with Mr. Towny the tiger, and that seems to be it. And they're in the Floodlands. So they're going up, and I love this picture. And they bust out, both Mary and Billy. So writer Jeff Johns and Marco Santucci, apparently. Then we got another artist like this. And Dale Eaglesham, he's got great art, like it. And Scott Collins. The art in this book has been good in general. And so we got this little old school thing right here where just the lonely and troubled orphan Billy Baston was chosen by the last of the Council of Wizards to be given the power and become the new champion of magic. By unlocking his greatest power to share his magic with those he sees as family, will Billy have a chance to protect the magic lands from an evil that could destroy them as Shazam? That's cool. So we see that they enter into like the usual Hall of Doors, just like in the movie and the comics in general. So they check out the Wildlands. And so that's where they head to. So you believe you've seen the light. So we see that Black Adam has discovered that things are happening in the seven realms. I want to just say realms. And he notices that Dr. Savannah is here. So basically, he's like saying, you think you've seen the light, but you're involving yourselves. You're involving yourself in things you don't understand. You don't belong in the world of magic, and especially in the Nexus. You freed me from my prison, and for that I will end your life quickly, providing you tell me where I can find Mr. Mind. And we see that Mr. Mind and Dr. Savannah have teamed up. Mr. Mind is in Dr. Savannah's head. He's like, oh, he's around. And we just see him telling him, don't underestimate Black Adam, strike fast. So Savannah takes on Black Adam with his magic. And we just see that Savannah's like, listen to reason. You know what Mr. Mind is capable of. You were there first when he brought terror to the Magic Lands. What he has planned this time, it cannot be stopped. So join him, join us. So Adam's going for the eyes. And he was like, listen, last time I followed anyone, it was because I was shackled and whipped. I killed the man who put those shackles and held that whip. I popped his head like a grape. So looks like he's about to do that. But meanwhile, we see that because they're fighting in the Nexus, it seems to be affecting the door that Mary and Billy are going through. And we see that I will take the magic back from all who misuse it, from Billy and his family, and from you. I should have done this a long time ago. No one can be trusted with this power except for me. Which is interesting. So Adam, anti-hero-ish, believes that he is the only one who can control magic. So Mr. Mind is like, foolish Adam. Your hubris is my friend. If he wants power, Thaddeus, give it to him. So he overloads Black Adam, but he also kind of messes with the portal. And we go back to Philly, and they land back in their home. And so this is pretty funny. I think they come out of the bathroom. So yeah, and we see that the Foster family is like, "Kids, is that you?" And so they're wondering how they get. It's like I'm trying to figure out how they got back here. And Billy's like, "We got to transform," and we got to transform. And so as they get up, Mary's like, "We got to tell Victor and Rosa," and Billy's like, "Nah." It's like it's like no, it's like the others are in trouble. We have no idea what we're going to do. And he's like, well, they're not. They have no powers. What are they going to do? It's like I don't know, Billy, but they deserve to know what's going on. Which is like we see that Mary, and we see that she's like saying they're our family and they're worried about us. And Billy's like, it'll only endanger them. And he's like, I'm going to think of something else. So he walks down, and so the cops are here. They're about to file a report. They were filing a report. They're asking about where the others are. And we just see that Billy's dad is here. Looks just like Billy. Just like Billy. And tears come up. We get this fantastic reunion between father and son. And Mary's like this, but while the parent, Victor and Rosa are like, we understand, but we've grown to love Billy as our son, so it's kind of, heartbreaking. And father's like, I've been looking for you for so long. And he's like saying, "Is it really you?" It's like, and it's like, "I'm sorry, Billy." And I think this is when Billy was on the streets. I think this is Billy. It's like you were never meant to be alone. So Savannah has defeated Adam. And it's like, come now, Adam. They'll all be here soon, all of them. So we see that there was a great storm. Maryland was going into labor already. Basically, a lightning bolt hit him, and Billy was born in a car. And so we drove to Philadelphia. They made it our home. Um, Basically, he explains that they're from Minnesota, and apparently Marilyn's father, Billy's mother, didn't approve of the relationship, and he was going to take you and your mother away from me. So that's when they hightailed out to Philly. He wanted to be the best husband and father he could be. I took you to the zoo every day, and it's like you loved them so much. And Billy's like, "That's fine, Dad, but where have you been?" And he's like, still kind of going on a tangent. It's like I miss the days when we were family. And the last 10 years, he's saying that he wasn't proud. He tried to protect you and your mother, so he left. But he's like saying, the truth was, I wasn't fit to be your father. I was a criminal. I've been in prison. It's like, and he's trying to like push it. He's like, that's behind me. I served my time. I got out and I came looking for you. So he's trying to figure out. It's like he's trying to figure out where's mom. It's like, I want to find mom. Of course I do. But maybe we can find her together. I think she might be back home in some to Minnesota. That's my next stop. It's like I said, that's my step, and he's basically saying that you're on parole, and he's like, your mother's the love of my life, and I need to find her, make sure it's okay. And he's like, there's nothing more important than family, and that's been like the main theme of Shazam in general, family, and they do a good job of it. So meanwhile, in the game lands, Pedro and Eugene are stuck in this game world, and all these avatars are trying to kill him. So, Pedro's been good at video games, and we see that they're just trying to get away. It's like me, and you just see, stop yelling at me. I've never driven before, me either, but I played enough Grand Theft Auto to know the basics. That's pretty cool. And this guy, and Eugene's like, whoa, Rosa and Victor let you play that? No, I bought one of Victor's coats and said the magic word and bought it. It's like, how can you goof up at a time like this? We're lost. We don't know where anything else. It's like, I have no idea what I'm doing. So we see that a new player has entered the game. And we just see it's Shazam, the wizard. It's like, children, you have no idea how much trouble you're in. It's like, who are you? Just see, I'm the wizard who gave Billy his powers. Like, oh. They're like, uh-oh. They're like kids who like, yeah, we're in trouble. Call Shazam. So meanwhile, back in the Funlands, King Kid is like, look, they ain't going to get away with this. The children are going to war, and I'm going to find them. So he's going to head to Earth. Meanwhile, Mary, talking with Victor and Rosa, is like, and Mary's like, and she's like, my world's turning upside down too, as long as Billy and the parents are like, where are the rest of the kids? And Freddie and Darla are somewhere called The Wildlands. Eugene and Pedro are safe. She doesn't know if Eugene or Pedro are safe. Billy's dad is here, and she's like, "What are you talking about? Where are the kids?" And so she just decides to explain that, look, we all have powers, and she just decides to reveal the identity and the secret that Billy has tried to keep from Pedro and Rosa for their own safety. But Mary's like, look, this isn't the situation. I've got to do what I got to do. So this was just another solid book. People be saying things about DC, and DC's got its problems, but there are solid books still in DC. Plug in Red Hood, of course. You got Shazam too. But this was a fantastic book, and I would recommend it highly to anybody. Give it to your kids. This is a nice book as well. I think the movie hopefully gives us more leeway, and it's fantastic, and I thoroughly recommend it. I was one who was a little bit wary about this, but I've really grown on this series, and I suggest you do too. I give this a good 9 out of 10 simply because of the twist at the end, and just in general, it's a good, fun book. It feels like old school comics. So thank y'all for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notifications. Make sure you're notified. Once again, I do these reviews for you, the people, because when it's good comics, get your views on them. Thank y'all for watching, and I should have more videos up later this day, or maybe during the week. Bye.